I can go out and do a bottle for 275. So I don't want to hear that excuse because I can go to court and police can turn up at my door if I go against that order. That's what I'm trying to say. So all this expensive thing.
What is the most expensive bad? It's child custody.
The most expensive thing is the most expensive. The most expensive thing is taking care of the kid. That's the most expensive thing.
Say something? Makeup don't make you more than average. Intelligence don't make you more than average. Education don't make you more than average. The clothes that you wear don't make you more than average. The podcasts you go onto do not make you more than average. It makes you popular. I'm talking. Let me finish.
You're saying single mums are average, right? And then you're a single mum and you're a lot older than me and you're saying look at you and look at me. Seriously, auntie.
Sorry, Pearl, I have to say I disagree with you there. I definitely disagree with you there, and I'll tell you why. Look, I'm 38, I'm not a young girl, I've been married and I've been divorced, I've got experience, I've had a kid, you know, I've been there, I've done that. So if somebody gets married at a young age, right, they're young, right? So they're not that clued, right? Look, let me start from we always talk about a problem, but we never ever get to the core of why that problem occurs.
But everybody's young. So everyone's young.
No, wait. As a young girl, I'm sure you'll all agree with me, okay? As a young girl, we are brainwashed. We are sold a fairy tale, right? We are all thinking, oh, we're going to wear this white dress and we're going to get married and we're going to be in love. No, we shouldn't have been taught that. We should have been taught the realness. Marriage is very hard. It's a struggle. You've got to make sure you know who you're marrying. Look, and also, people change over time. Somebody, you can marry them, and when you married them, they were okay. And over time, gradually, they got mental breakdown. They became a psychopath. They became antisocial.
But again, we all grew up in the same society, and people have different outcomes based on their choices. So if you make a choice...
Sorry, can I finish what I'm saying? I think what you're saying, everything that we say has to be within context. You know, some people might get married and the husband dies, and they become a single mother. You know, there's
but we're not talking about exceptions. We're talking about the rule. Are the majority of single mothers widows? No.
But does it go the other way? Does men's value diminish when they become?
No, it doesn't.
Fathers?
No, because they can just get up and they can go and remarry.
Personally, for me personally, I'm not into the guys with kids. That's not my thing. But in general, no. I mean, most guys I know that have kids say it helps them in dating. Girls like it.
A guy can just get up and start all over again. He can literally...
So there's no accountability when it comes to men, but as soon as
it's not about accountability, it's about outcomes. Like, what outcomes do you get?
What is the outcome?
And the outcome is that single mothers have a harder time in dating than single women.
That's the outcome.
And the outcome for men is oftentimes when men, not always, but oftentimes when men have kids, their outcomes are better. They get more girls because women like to see a guy that can take care of a kid. It signals to us that, like, you know, again, it's not my thing personally.
Can I add on to that? Because I'm single mother, but I'm engaged. I'm getting married. However, before I got engaged, and it was me and my child. It is so the guy, he can just literally leave and go and start a whole new life, remarry, have a kid. You, however, he's not going to take that kid with him. That woman doesn't has to worry about that child. You're the one who's going to keep that child with you 24/7. So if you try to decide to date, right, it's not as simple. You can't just go out and date. You got to think about your child, especially if it's a little girl or a boy. You got to know who you're bringing to your house. You got to know who you're bringing around your child. And then, like, say for example, you're like, even when you're married, it's the child's own father. He starts to get jealous of that child. He'll start telling you, "Oh, I'm not getting any time anymore." So how do you think a guy who's not even the father of that child is going to feel?
Would you want your brother to date a single mother over a single woman?
Okay, hold on. All else equal, everybody wants a person without a child versus a person with a child. That's going to be true, all else equal. The reason why men tend to get away with it more than women is because women are often the ones taking care of the kid. Now, you might think in your mind, well, I know some single dads are really successful, but single dads that fight for custody is already a minority of a minority. So you're already probably selecting for pretty successful guys. So I think
single dads, say that again?
Single dads that are fighting for custody of kids or can take care of their kids, you're already selecting for a pretty rare guy.
Yeah, right, because they don't typically win.
No, because they don't typically fight for it. They usually just cut and run.
But the reason is, like, I've talked to different attorneys about this, and the reason most attorneys will tell guys not to fight for custody because it's so expensive.
No, they won't. I've talked to the lead attorney too. No. They tell them not to fight because oftentimes they won't win. Because when a court is trying to figure out who's going to get custody of the kid,
it's very expensive. And a lot of times it's like, do you want to waste your life savings when you're most likely are not going to win?
No. None of this is true. Okay, hold on. You can look up all the numbers and all the stuff if you want. The reason why men typically don't fight is because, one, they don't Because if they fight and they're in a bad place to win because they haven't been taking care of the kid, they're not going to have a good outcome from the judge. When the judge is looking, let me finish this point yet. Okay. When the judge is looking at who gets custody, it's not about who puts up the better defense in court, who's got the more expensive lawyer. It's who spent most time with the child. So if the mom has spent 95% of the time with the kid, doesn't matter how much you pay to a lawyer, you're not going to win custody.
She would do it. She's a housewife.
When men do fight for custody, they win 60% of the time.
But the problem is, like, women can make it so the dad doesn't even see the kid and then go to court and then say
whose fault is that? Wait, hold on. Wait, no. Wait. Stop. Hold on. You just went on a whole spiel about take accountability for your decisions, blah, blah, blah. And now you're saying what? Is the mom playing hide and go seek with the kid?
What do you
take
mean?
accountability?
What do you mean when you say the wife has made it so the husband can't take care of the kid?
Well, you've never heard of cases where women don't let the dad see the kid.
Hold on. Wait. Earlier you said we weren't going to talk about exceptions. You want to talk about the rules. So don't give me the hide and go seek with the kid.
It's more common than you think.
You're still, you see how you're being snaky there when you say that? It's more common than you think? How often do you think a mom is hiding the kid from the husband? Give me a percentage.
What percentage? That's a good question. I don't know.
Because in the UK, if that be the case, and I work in the industry, it's $275 to get a C101 application to go to the court for contact for your child. It isn't what it is in America. It's very easy. I can go out and do a bottle for $275. So I don't want to hear that excuse because I can go to court and police can turn up at my door if I go against that order. That's what I'm trying to say. So all this expensive thing.
What is the most expensive bad? It's child custody.
The most expensive thing is the most expensive. The most expensive thing is taking care of the kid.
That's the most expensive thing.
Can I just say something? Can I say something?
I think Auntie's been wanting to talk for a second.
I've had my hand up for so long.
Go ahead.
Right, and I just want to say a few things. I was picked. I was in a relationship. It was abusive. And nobody can't tell me that with hindsight, you can't see that there's loads of red flags. So when he asked me to marry him, and I said, no, if he was the last man on earth, I won't marry you. I saved myself from getting married and getting stuck in a relationship. So yes, I was a single parent whose dad, the child's dad asked me to marry him. And I thought about it and I thought, not on your life. And I actually said, if you were the last man on earth, I won't marry you. That's the last thing I remembered. I was that cold on the floor. You know why? Because I couldn't imagine myself. My mum and dad were married. And I thought to myself, this guy picked me. I never picked him. This guy picked me. I fell in love, got into a relationship. It was abusive. And I thought to myself, the last thing I need is to get married and tied to this man forever. So, if I knew that there were red flags before, I could have turned around and said, oh yeah, I want to get married. He proposed to me, had the ring, one knee, everything. I could have said, yeah. Then I would have been stuck in an abusive relationship as a married woman. And then I would have got divorced and still been a single woman who'd been married before in an abusive relationship. But I decided no. So too many women out there, they think, you know what? That will go by. They see a red flag. Oh, that's nothing. They see this. That was nothing. And then they go along with the, oh, yeah, let's get married. Now, I could have gone along with it. Everybody was like, yeah, on the outside, you used to together. It's working. He drops you shopping. He picks you up. He takes you here. He takes you there. But I knew in my heart that he was abusive. Nobody couldn't see it. And I decided that rather than get caught up in the great big wedding thing, knock it on its head. So when women are talking about they're not average, as a single parent, I had to be different. I had to stop going out there and thinking to yourself, you know what? I need a man. I didn't need a man. I know what I needed to do. I made the choice. I needed to look after my child. I needed to make sure I didn't have any more children. I needed to make sure that I become a positive role model for him and make sure that he had male mentors out there. So much so that eventually when I got back to the first man that I was in love with, by the time we got back together again, he was a single parent. He was willing to take me as a single parent. And I took him as a single parent. So as far as I'm concerned, don't go out. If you're a single parent, look for other single parents. If you can't find no one that you trust, that you can hand over to, single parents unite. Single men who are parents, go out with single women who are parents. Because the women who are out there now, nobody wants to be average. Everybody wants to be above average. But you know what? I'm average. This is who I am. I've met somebody average. We got on great. And it works. I don't want to find someone with a fancy car. When I met him, he never wasn't even driving. Eventually got a fancy car and I got it to drive. He gave it to me. But you don't hang your hat too high. Women out there, and they're average. Makeup don't make you more than average. Intelligence don't make you more than average. Education don't make you more than average. The clothes that you wear don't make you more than average. The podcasts you go on to do not make you more than average. It makes you popular. I'm talking. Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. I can't expand if I don't finish talking. Because I'm English. I'm Caribbean. I'm not African. So shut up and let me finish. When I finish talking, I've been sitting here. Africans are the best, my ass.
You're going to get high blood pressure.
If Africans were the best, they wouldn't be on here talking bullshit. Speak for yourself. Say that you are the best. Relax.
I'm not with that. I'm not with that.
Somebody have tea on it. Hang on a minute. Listen, Rocky Witches, right?
I'm not listening.
I'm ignorant. You're being ignorant.
Guys. Okay, guys, wait, stop. Michael, stop. Okay, 30 seconds, then Michael, you can go.
I'm talking. She's talking. Look at me and look at her. You're going to tell me Africans are the best.
Okay, wait.
Come on.
Okay.
Come on.
What?
Come on.
Okay.
Make sense out of nonsense.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay.
So you said look at you as in you, and then look at me as in me. You're saying single mums are average, right? And then you're a single mum, and you're a lot older than me, and you're saying look at you and look at me. Seriously, auntie. Are we going to be realistic right now?
Africans are the best, right? Africans are the best, right? You're going to put yourself up against me. Now, I was asking Richie. Hang on. I was asking Riches.
King Riches.
Sorry, I don't know.
Say it properly. King Richard, the African man.
Esther, wait. Okay.
That's a violation. Don't disrespect African people. No one has ever disrespected
you're disrespecting African people.
No, I'm not. You
are disrespecting African people. I don't disrespect African people.
Because you are not African.
He is here saying that African people are the best, right? I'm not disputing his point of view. I'm going by what's on the stage. And I'm saying, look at you. Right, with your knowledge and your Africanness, and look at me, and you're going to tell me that Africans are the best. I'm not saying that what he's saying is wrong. I'm saying talk about what we've got here. Talk about the sense. Talk about the brain work. Talk about the educational and the professional speaking.
Okay, we have heard.
Come on.
Okay.